There we go. All right. And I'm hearing an echo from somewhere. And all right. So, oh, it might be here. Okay. Turn this off. There we go. All right. So today, what we've been doing this week in our first classes is interviewing, is is reviewing a new DAW. So we're getting everybody into a new DAW, meaning digital audio workstation. The name of the digital audio workstation is um, BandLab. And if you can type it in for me, the stuff for me, Jordan, it'd be great.
Yeah.
It's called BandLab. And with BandLab, it does a lot of the same things that Soundtrap does. And one reason we like it is because it's free forever, or at least for now, it's free forever for everybody. And this the soundtrack version is going to go to, after another 40 days or 30 days, it's going to go to the free version, which you won't have access to everything. Um, this new DAW that we're using is called BandLab, and it is a version of actual audio software that used to be on the market called Cakewalk. It was Sonar by Cakewalk. Sonar Cakewalk went out of business, and whoever this company is, they bought it and they created an online DAW with it. Um, so it's it's more compatible, or it seems to be more in line with actual software like Pro Tools and Logic and different things like that. The thought process behind the GUI or the user interface seems to be much on par with the other softwares that are out there. So that being said, the other reason why we're switching is because we also wanted everybody that's in our classes. I think once you understand and you see like this software, and you're going to see that you're going to be able to manipulate it because you've already experienced manipulating audio on Soundtrap. I think it'll give everybody more of a confidence. So if you decide that you're going to use a Reason, or you're going to use a Reason as the name of a software, or Pro Tools, which is another software, or Logic, you'll be comfortable because you say, hey, I went from one to the other, and it basically works the same way. And for for the most part, all of these DAWs in its basic form all work the same way. What gets different with them is some of them bring different things to the table than others. So that being said, I did a I'm gonna share with you. I did a song, created a song on here. You know what? Let me just go into it, the editor first, so I can play it from the editor. Do you have any questions while I'm waiting for that? Anybody?
Is it similar to like Garage Band? I used to hear like
Yeah, it's similar to a
Yes.
garage band. Yes. Um, garage band is a simpler version of Logic. Logic, it's only for Apple. You can only use garage band on Apple products.
Mhm.
I believe they have a version now for the iOS, which is for iPhones and iPads.
Hmm.
Um, but yes, and we're in.
Yeah, they do, because my son uses that one on the Apple phone, the Garage Band.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And GarageBand is great for the simple reason that if you do want to get really into it, you can actually use GarageBand will open up in Logic. So if you wind up you can start your project in Logic in 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 GarageBand, and then you can bring it over to Logic, which is another Apple product, which is their main software, and that is like one of the mainstays of all professional studios. There's probably two programs that you'll find in all professional studios. First one is Pro Tools. The second one is Logic. Then you have, all other ones. There's Ableton, I forget, Ableton Live, and you have Reason. You have FL Studios, which used to be Fruity Loops and things of that nature. So what you're looking at right now, let me just expand this for me. What you're looking at right now is hold on, I wanted to get this expanded. Oh, here we go. Can you guys still see this?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Density compact. Okay. And let me just shrink this down so you guys can see what I did. Okay. Now, the coolest thing about this program is they have an app that for your phone or for iOS or Android, and obviously to work on iPads and any tablets. And it has loops, and you can play with these loops and create these phenomenal songs and combinations. So I did this, I basically created all these loops on my phone and then logged into the same project on my computer. And then I put them in the place where I wanted them to be. So you can listen to it now. So
Nice.
basically, hello.
Very nice.
It was nice.
Thank you. Uh, it wasn't hard at all. Basically, it was just I'm going to talk more about that later. But it was this particular app that they have. It's phenomenal. Um, that I worked on the phone, and I basically put those all those tracks together on the phone using loops that they have, and you can find those same loops in this project. So I'm going to go over a little bit of let you understand how to get around in this DAW. One thing that I always like to do first is to show everybody there's shortcuts. If you go up to help and you click on that, you'll find a list of shortcuts. Meaning, so if you hit the R, it records, S for slice, C for toggling on and off the cycle mode, toggling on and off the metronome is M, G for snap to grid. To disable snap to grid is you just hit the command if you're on Mac or the control if you're on PC. The display loop list, all this kind of stuff. It's all a shortcut list. So this is it's very helpful to be able to know that you can get to that quickly. The other thing is they have a show tutorial. And what that does is it shows you each section. So it shows you the mute button over here and you can got it. Solo button, the volume slider, pan slider, track effects, your effects editors down here. You can learn more about it. Automate your track, and I'll show you that in a minute. And also here's your global controls, track settings. So obviously if I change the key to the song, it'll change everything in the song to that key. So it's really cool. I used something like this one time. I was having a hard time picking up a song in a specific key. A hard time changing key on a specific song for a particular singer that I was playing behind. And so I pulled the track I actually pulled the recording, the actual, like say it was Fred Hammond. I pull him here and change the key. so I could learn how to play it in that key just to make sure I was getting it right. I could play around with the record. So it can be used like that too. All these things can be used in that kind of sense. And again, you have your time, your beats per minute, the tempo of the song, your metronome, and the master volume for everything is right there. Down here, you have lyrics and notes. This is really helpful because a lot of times when you're doing your mix or you're pulling tracks up and things of that nature, it's nice to keep notes over here and say, hey, this was out of a particular, I'll show you in a minute. There's loops and they have different loop packs. And you can start bringing loops in and forget where you really got them from. And so you can actually take them, if you take a minute and say, I got for instance, the buildup, I got that from the such and such a pack and and just make a note of it. This way, in case you ever have to go back or find that loop again, you know where to get it and how you got it. So that's a good thing to do. And also you can use it for lyrics. Here's the looper packs. And these are the same looper packs that you will find on your phone in the app. And that's it. Basically, we're set. If you see, there's other tutorials to go to. Now, again, back down here on the bottom right-hand side, you can actually use this for real-time collaboration. So basically, it has the same kind of, it can do the same kind of thing as Soundtrap as far as collaborating on a song together. And if you have a MIDI keyboard or anything like that, you can actually be able to use your keyboard if you have a MIDI keyboard to control all of this software. And
Question.
so that's those last things. Yes.
Can this be used like, sometimes you can when you're playing to make the band sound fuller, you just use tracks with that. Can you actually take this and use that too? You know how you play behind the track, you're playing, the band is actually playing, but you're actually playing with the track just to get a more like a better rhythm, a fuller sound. Can this be used with like that?
Yeah, yes, but I wouldn't do it with an online DAW. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying record it. You're gonna have to record it and then you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
have it on your
Oh yeah.
laptop and then
Yes,
have
yes,
the song there. That's what,
yes,
because
yes,
when you said you changed the key on a song, I'm wondering. I said, okay, you
yes,
might be able to do that.
yes. Matter of fact, yes. Like I can go to any one of these tracks and it says export track as a wave.
Okay.
Right there. So how I got there was I clicked those three dots right there,
Okay.
and go down to, you can import or export anything in here. So like I was saying, if you want to import a track, you can import it right here, click that, and it's going to open up your, open up your Finder, or whatever you're using, and find the track that's on your computer.
Okay.
Okay, I lost control for a minute here. Okay, it's back. And I want to get back to full screen for me. Here we go. So the other thing was the automation. So I automated some tracks just so everybody can see automation. I automated, you couldn't hear it, but I automated that swoosh sound that's going through this project. This swoosh sound, you can't hear it, when you'll get a copy of this project if you want to hear it. And I have it going from panning from right to left and from left to right. So if you have your headphones on, you'd hear it going, past your ears. I have volume. If you heard this track, it kind of faded out. This track down here faded out also. So I used automation to do that. And you get the automation right here. Click this button at the top of the track list on the, right here. You will see it. It'll show and hide automation. So you click on that and you can do automation. And the way you do automation is you just click on the line. So this is volume right here. And I can pull this down. So what it'll do, it'll rise and then it'll give a short fade. And if you say you don't want that automation anymore, if you double click on it, it actually gets rid of it. It'll delete that particular point, automation point. Okay. Now, the other thing you could do is just make sure you save. And when you save it, it's going to tell you something went wrong. No, normally it doesn't do that. But it might be, everything acts a little wonky when we're doing Zoom at the same time.
Yeah,
So it could be the issue between, yeah, there it goes. So revision saved. And if I click on this button, it'll take me out of the project and back to another window. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Right now, I don't want to go out of the project. Okay, so we all learned about splitting. If you can actually, if you see this was actually spread out. It was one audio file, and all I did was just loop it out. You can loop it out for the whole, song or just parts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can copy and paste it too. Like, so wherever I have my playhead at, if I go copy, and then I go, okay. Well, if I click Control V or Command V, it'll paste it. And that got pasted right where my playhead was. If I want to paste another one and keep on going, I can just keep on pasting it out. So it makes it very easy to get around and to move around. We can actually, if you grab any one of these tracks, you can actually reorganize your your project just by moving the tracks around. And it doesn't change. Moving the tracks around have nothing to do with the audio. It doesn't change anything with the audio. Just makes it more. I have it set up right now because I was showing the first tracks, second tracks, third tracks that come in. Actually, now the third track, fourth track that comes in, and so forth. This way, as the project was moving along, I could scroll down so y'all could see what tracks it was actually using. And I didn't do a good job of that. I'm fixing that now. So basically, I did it that way again so that everybody would be able to see where we are, in what position we are in the song. However, that's not the professional way of doing it, just letting you know, because I don't want people to say, oh, he showed me how to do this. This is the way you do it. No, the way that you're actually supposed to do it, if you're going to send it out to somebody to remix it, and if you're like, we're producers now, all of y'all, we're producers. So sometimes producers will send their production out to be mixed by a professional mixer and mixing engineer. When you send it out, you want to make sure that there's a couple of things you do. One of the things you want to make sure that all the tracks are in order. Now, how we say order? It usually goes from bass drum is the first track, second track is snare drum, third track and fourth track or whatever, it would be your toms, then your cymbals, then, and then we would go down to percussion. After percussion would be bass guitar or anything that's playing bass, upright bass and all that kind of stuff. Then your guitars, lead guitar, rhythm guitars, then your keyboards, which would be, piano, electric piano, acoustic pianos and all that. Then we would do vocals. Then after the vocals would be any sound effects, because sometimes tracks have sound effects and stuff like that on it. Usually that is the way professional mixers, when you do that, they're happy because they don't have to if you have this particular project, I think I counted the other day as 16 tracks. I'm not sure offhand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tracks. Okay, so as you see, this is a simple song. It has 13 different tracks in it. So you can obviously see, you can get a song that could go up to 50 tracks very easily, just because once we put vocals in, if we put a lead vocal, you might have 2 or 3 different lead vocals, and then you might have 5 or 10 different background vocals. So already you're in the third, close to 30. And then, 2 or 3 guitar parts and so on, and then synthesizers and all that kind of stuff. So you can get to a project where it's 40, 50 tracks. If you're doing orchestras, like any kind of symphonies, like when they do movie scores and stuff like that, they go into like 600 and 800 tracks, okay? Because you're talking about strings, you're talking about an orchestra along with synths, along with real drums, a drum set, along with timpani drums and all that kind of stuff. And then you got sound effects. You got the whole host. But let's not even talk about sound effects, but just the music part can go up to hundreds of tracks. So it gets to be a issue of being able to organize a project that big. So you have to have so usually when you get a project, and I'm going over this because I have a reason for this. I'm going over this, but that you have a what we call a delivery, a required delivery for a product, for a song or whatever. So, for instance, if you're producing, since we're all producers now, we're producing a particular artist. Okay, so let's say R&B is close to my heart. So I don't care whether it's gospel or anything, but R&B, which is the sound of R&B, is close to my heart. So let's say you have an R&B artist, and your job is to make sure that artist, if he is R&B, that he's going to be putting out a product that is genre specific, because you want the customers. You as a producer, you're not buying it. You're not buying one record. So you are producing that person for what they are going for, that particular genre. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're keeping the music in that genre. Yes, there can be experimentation. Yes, you can stretch the envelope because that's how new genres get made. But the point is that you want to make sure that he's specific to the audience. He or she is specific to the audience that you're producing them for. Okay, so all of these things are usually in a if you're doing a game, you know, they'll tell you, if you're doing music for a game, they'll tell you they want R&B. Here again with R&B, but it doesn't matter, electronic, R&B, whatever, EDM, and they'll tell you how they want the project, how many tracks, how many this, how many that, how many instruments, and then they'll tell you they want it delivered as an MP3 or a WAV file or an AAIF file, and all of those things. That's the way a production is done, and it's usually you as a producer or a production team, like I'm looking at right now on Zoom, a production team to produce a group or artist or whatever. So that's what the job is, and that's what music production is about. So let's go a little bit more around the uh, this door. I wanted you all to see, this is very important. These loops, really cool. So their genres are, I mean, I can keep on scrolling, and I know I'm scrolling fast. Turbo trap, retro city, uh, neo soul drums. For instance, you can hear the play. So that gives you an idea of the loops that are in that loop pack. That's what they call them. Roots and dubs. Yeah, I gotta use that. I got something for that. Experimental atmospheres. I like those. So yes.
Has everybody downloaded the application for their iPad or iPhone?
No, I don't believe they have yet because I'm just telling everybody about it.
Okay. Well,
have you tried it?
It's well worth it. I just downloaded it this right as we're speaking, and it's remarkable. It has everything in the book. It really does.
It's awesome, man.
It really does. So I recommend it.
Yep. So and all of everything that's on the app is in here right now. These are the actual loops that you'll find in the app. So, and the app is free. Everything with them is free. This is funny. Game Boy Power Pack. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, they have a Game Boy Power, and it sounds like the old. This is cool too. I think Doc. So Game Boy Power Pack, they got Latin House. Now this is the loop pack I pulled out of for this particular song. It's a Latin pop. So how do we get into that? If I double click on it, and bingo, here's all the loops for that particular loop pack. So everything.
They look like they got more loops than Soundtrap.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So they have way more loops. This is just one. So you can search. I was taking you this route because you can actually search going through the loop packs, or you can click on all loops, and then you could say, I'm going to reset this. So all of the loops, everything that's in their product is on here. Now I can actually go with genre. So if I click underneath here where it says search, I can search for drums. So if I put in drums, it'll pull up all the drums out of all the loops, out of all the loop packs. It'll pull everything up. If I go Latin drums, whoops, what happened?
Oh, you hit record.
I'm sorry. I'm hitting a whole lot of stuff. I see. Where'd my loop pack go? Okay. So if I said Latin drums, so now it gave me all the Latin drums. You see, or I could have did it even easier. I could have said I could have got rid of that. Said genres. I could have said Latin. And then I could go down here and say instruments, and I could just say drums, and it will. I don't want punk. Wait, how'd that get on there? Anyway, so it gives me grunge punk drums. I don't know how I got that. Anyway, so if I just say Latin, so it gave me all the Latin drums, all the Latin, everything that's Latin. So if I just want drums, I don't know why it's just only giving me that. But anyway, because there's a lot more percussion. Ah, okay. So Latin would be percussion. Duh. Hip hop. So now what happens if I find a loop that I like, and let me go back to, let me try Cuban. Well, this is Latin pop. I'll just stick with that for a minute. If I find something that not in my project, let's see. Okay, so I didn't have that. If all I have to do is just double click, and as you see, it created a track, Latin Groove Wood, and I can spread this out for the whole project if I want it. So now you hear, whoops, what happened? How did I get
Oh, you
there?
hit record.
How did I hear myself just now?
The recording from earlier on that first track, because you heard my voice too, and I wasn't talking.
I wound up recording?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of town. Okay.
I don't know how it recorded my voice, but somehow I did.
Wow. Okay. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Anyway, that was weird. You know what happened was it jumped out of that box when I was typing, so I was actually typing shortcut commands. So it's in the project. That's my point right here. I soloed it. So it's in the project. All I did was just double click on it and boom, it was gone. If I want to take it off, oops, I don't want to bring that back.
Right click.
Yeah, just right click. And all we have to do is just click on those buttons and delete. And it's a done deal. Okay, so the reason why I also showed you this project specifically because if you notice, I had different sections in it. So I didn't have it. I did this like at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I didn't have the time or to do any vocals and things of that nature. And you wouldn't want to hear my voice at 3 o'clock in the morning anyway. But I set it up kind of like where there was breaks and there would be a verse, chorus, verse, bridge kind of thing. And that's the way I set it up. So I believe Jordan has created a project that he has ordered a project from you guys, and it's so that you can get used to using this DAW. We've already made songs and all that kind of stuff, so there's nothing new that you're going to be doing other than just doing it in this DAW. So what we're looking for is for you guys to create a song like 2 to 3 minutes long. This was 3 minutes and some change. 2 to 3 minutes long with at least two parts. You know, a verse and a chorus, or a verse and a bridge, or a chorus, starting on the chorus, then have a verse. It doesn't matter how you want to do it. When we talk about A, B, and music, this is the little music training we're going to do. We talk about A, B, and C. When we say that, we're talking about A being verse, B being the chorus, C being the bridge. I know that sounds backwards, but that's the way we talk about music. So when we're saying we're in the part of the verse, we're going to be A. If we're in a chorus, it's a B. It's the B section. So a song can go. If you notice, we have songs, even no matter what, worship or anything, sometimes it starts on the chorus. So you start out with B. So it's B because they're repeating that chorus over and over again, and then they go into a verse. So it's a B, A, B, A, B song. You see what I mean? Because it may go out on the chorus and it only had two parts. Some are the opposite. They start on the verse and they don't have a bridge, but they're A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B all the way out. Some songs have A, B, A, B, A, B, C, which is a bridge, which is a different part altogether. It usually doesn't sound exactly like the rest of the song. And it's we call it the bridge, right? But it kind of culminates, usually lyrically, it culminates everything that's being said between the verses and the choruses. It is the verse and chorus equals this. And now we're going to tell you to finish up the story, and then we go back to the chorus and we fade out. That's usually how songs are built. So, it's A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, C, or B, A, B, A, it can be either of those. So we want you to pick any format that you want, but at least it has to have an A and a B. Okay? And it can be A, B, A, B, A, B, or A, B, and A. Go out on the verse, or A, B, and go out on the chorus. It's fine. And don't make it like that's hard, because all you're doing is you're writing an A and you're writing a B. Then you copy the A, your A section, and paste it after the B section. You understand what I mean?
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Go ahead.
A, B, A, B, A, B, A, C, or however you formulate it. What we're really talking about is call and answer, is when you have a feeling inside of when you're making music, or when you're writing a book or writing a thesis, you're writing a chapter, or you're writing an idea and then substantiating it. It's like the feeling of two people talking to each other, and then having, if you have a C, it's just having something that joins those two together, or it's that same feeling of
Absolutely
having a conversation in real life. So that's what we're really trying to express in music, is having a true feeling be put into the world.
Yep, exactly. So that's enough said about that. Everybody's got that. Any other questions? Because that's going to be part of your project that you're doing this week. That's why I was covering that. Everybody good? Okay. And like I said, so if you're doing A, B, you're really writing two parts. Musically, I'm talking about the music. You're writing two parts. If you're A, B, and you got a C, a bridge, then you're writing three parts. But the A and the B, you just keep on cutting and pasting those to wherever you want them. So you're not you're not rewriting or writing all the way through. You're just cutting and pasting. Wherever you want the A section at, you put that in the A section. Where you want the B section, you put it, you copy. Okay, so I just want to make it simple for everybody so everybody can understand and write like a little song. Lyrics, if you have lyrics for it and you want to sing a melody to it, that's great. That's no problem at all. And you can do it if you have the app, you can do it with your phone. So I suggest you download the app and use the same login that you use, in both places. Then your project that you do on your phone will actually be the same project you're logging into on your computer. So it works real well that way. So you can sing if you don't have a mic or anything like that, and you want to be able to, sing on your phone. You can do that. You can hold it like a mic and sing on your phone, and put that part in, and then you can go into the to the software on the computer and actually edit it or fix it up. Now, the only thing that this is missing that Soundtrap had was I haven't found it yet, and I don't think they have it, which is the pitch correction. What do we call it, Jordan?
Auto tune.
Auto tune. It doesn't have auto tune. So here's why you use no two DAWs now, because you can record your audio into here, or you can take, if you do your music first, you can take your mix, download your mix, drag it into Soundtrap, and do your vocals in Soundtrap,
Mm-hmm.
and use auto tune in Soundtrap. Then take that and take just your vocal track, export it, and bring it back into this project. Auto-tuned, the auto-tune version. You see what I mean? So this is the good thing. We do this all the time. Some people, I think Randy, one of our instructors, he said he does all his drums in Fruity Loops. I call it Fruity Loops, FL Studios.
Mm-hmm.
But he does all his mixing and everything, and all of his creation is done in Logic. But he does his drums. He does his drums on FL Studios because he likes the drums there better, and he can write them better there. And then he downloads them and then brings his drums into Logic and finishes up his song.
Question.
Yes.
So you saying, okay, so if we do all these tracks in this package, whatever, what is it called again?
It's BandLab.
BandLab. If you do all the tracks in BandLab, and even though we know that Soundtrap doesn't have as many to choose from, if you transport it to Soundtrap, it'll still keep the tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never too many tracks to upload into Soundtrap.
No. What you're gonna do is, okay, I'll show you right here. When I save, hold on, I'm gonna save this. So just like Soundtrap, it does a mix. So where you see revision saved, you just click on that arrow, and it's gonna take you to this page. And the name of this song is So We Begin. Okay. It's published already, so I can share it. I can revision. Where is it? I can download it. I'm trying to find where you downloaded it at. You can download it. I know you can download the whole.
It wasn't under that share button on the last page.
Oh yeah, I did see the share button. My bad. Hold on. I got this page so large. I'm not seeing everything. Okay, let me back. And share. No, that's share private. There it is. That was download. How did I get there?
Oh, you had to wait for the mix.
Okay. Oh yeah, it wasn't mixed. Okay, after it's mixed, then you can download it, and you can download it as MP3. I mean, I would do it as an MP3 if you just want to download so you can hear it in Soundtrap. I would just do an MP3. This way you have your music, and it's going to be easy. It's going to be, as it says, lightweight, heavy compressed, great for sharing. So that's all you want, is just so that you can sing along with the track. Mm-hmm. So you'll bring in one track into Soundtrap. That's all you're doing.
Oh, Okay.
You're gonna bring one track into soundtrack.
Is it
That's
already
your,
mixed? Okay.
and then you're singing to that one track,
Okay.
which is your whole mix
Everything.
from BandLab. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Yes.
And now you sing. So when you sing, you can sing all your tracks, and then you can separately, if you want to, you can separately download each one of those vocal tracks,
Mhm.
or you can delete the other track. And if you want to mix your vocal tracks to one track, just mute your, when you're ready to do a mix down with your vocals, just mute that, the main track, just mute it, and it'll just mix your vocals. Then you'll get one vocal track, and you bring that back into, or you can download each separate vocal track. It's all up to you, and then drag them all into BandLab. That's the producer's choice.
Gotcha.
That's the producer's choice. Okay. And let me go back into this. Okay. So you're working nice for me. You're playing nice with. It went into the project real fast. That's good. What you see me shrinking it down up on the top, right? You see a plus,
Plus or
minus,
minus.
yeah, and you can shrink your project down so you can see where you are in it. Now I just wanted to go through a couple of things real quick. If you wanted to edit anything, if you double click on a region, it shows up down here. So you can actually edit that region, and it has its own control. Whoops. So you can actually edit this region if I wanted to, fade it out or anything like that, it'll fade it out. Now remember, this region is by itself. I had separated all these regions, they're separate regions. So I believe I have, so I can actually fade just this one region just by doing that. So that's one thing that you needed to know. You can pitch shift a region, meaning that you can take it up or down like a half a key. And you can also speed it up or slow it down, and you can reverse it. And so why would you want to reverse it? If you wanted to make something like, so you ever hear some go like, stuff like that? You could take a snare drum. If you think about it, if you reverse the snare drum, it would sound like, because the snares happen after. So it becomes a rise. So you could take a snare drum, you can take all different kind of things. Let me see if I can pull up one just to show you what I'm talking about. Let me get rid of this. And let me go over to loops. And let me get a snare. Okay. All right, that's ugly. Let's not go retro. Okay, let's use this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on it and reverse this. Let me also tighten this up real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to reverse it and hold on. Reverse it now. Okay. Let me solo it. And let me bring it to the beginning. You hear that? That's a backward snare.
So how did you do that?
I just brought it in. I brought it into the project right here. I brought it into the project, and then I hold on, let me spread it out. So this right here is this. So all I did was take it and hit reverse. So it sounds like this going forward. And backwards, it sounds like this. Hold on, let me see why it's shortening it. I don't know why it's showing the anyway. So in backwards, it sounds like this. Oh, here we go. That's what happened. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's the snare drum backwards. You heard that?
Mhm.
So we can use that. I can actually use that in the project to bring in something. Now I have a backward snare, and I'm just trying to do something real fast. So bear with me. You see where I have this like kind of rise there? I can add this over there.
I was gonna add the the song Atomic Dog by George Clinton.
Yeah, that too.
The drums on that song are backwards. That's why it's got that sucking sound with like like, but all the drums
Oh, okay.
are backwards.
Yeah.
So yes, that's true. And also I like setting this up so it actually snaps on a bar, so then I know that I'm always in rhythm. So this will sound like this when it comes in. Let me get the solo off. And
Okay. So
let me do it a little bit before that.
yeah.
Well, you get the idea. I have to play around with it a little, but I could actually bring in, you could use it to bring in something, I would
Right.
EQ. I'd actually EQ that and take the bass out of it, and just so it sounds like a, a swoop. But
What was the function that you put it on the bar?
oh, putting it on the bar helps me when I have it in. Like right now, I have it where I can't see all of the bars to actually do, because I had it, squinched down. So by putting it on the bar means that it's going to lock into the first measure of every bar. See?
And
First,
where did you get that choice from? From
oh,
Eddie?
from up here, view, and then grid size. Now you have smart, which means that when you spread it out like this, if I put it on smart, now it's probably 16th notes or something like that, right? Or I can actually set it to be constant. I can set it to be constant 16th note, 32nd notes, eighth notes, quarter notes, half notes, or full bar. So like right now I got it, if I did it with a half a bar, you might not be able to see it, but my grid is changing. And that's probably where I needed that rise to be. So yeah, that was it. Hear it?
Yeah.
So it brought in that part.
And what's the function to reverse?
How do you reverse it? You're asking?
Yeah. How do you reverse that? How do you
When
reverse the snare drum?
when I double clicked on it right here, and there at the bottom of the left side, to the left of that, you'll see it says reverse. So
Oh, okay. So it does
yeah,
say it. Okay.
yeah, it says reverse. And yeah. So and I use this to spread it back out, because when it reversed, for some reason it shortened I don't know why I did that, but anyway, just be mindful to pay attention to the be mindful to pay attention to where it where your what you call it wound up being. Hold on, I'm going to, there's a thing I'm doing right now. I just want to shut this down a little bit. Okay, now I can see it better up there. So you can close this by hitting the X on the left side right up here.
Mhm.
Boom. And there we have it. Now, the other thing I can do is I can put effects on that channel. So when I click the effects at the bottom of the left side, it says FX. Okay. Click on add. So I'm just doing something so you can hear a big change. I'm putting like an echo on it.
Delay.
So you should hear an echo on that. If I did everything. I heard it, but let me solo it so y'all can hear it. Hear it?
Yeah.
I can do it faster. And feedback is how many times it's gonna repeat. So, you know, wet level, that's like the balance. So it would sound together. I'm taking off the solo. You heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it one more time. It kind of, I tried to turn it up so you would hear it better, because I don't know how it's translating to, you know, on the it repeated a couple times. I'll just do it. I'll solo it again so you can hear it. So it was just one, but it repeated itself. So with everything going on, sometimes it's hard to hear it, but it actually added to the rhythm. See, so it kind of added to the rhythm of the piece. So, you know, you can always do things like that.
Right.
And there's all different kinds I like the way they have them separated here. Your delays, your distortions, your dynamics. Dynamics is anything that affects the sound. The dynamics is anything that affects the amount of volume. It's like an automatic volume knob, so to speak. In certain ways, you can use it like an automatic volume. What it do, it'll stop rises from coming up fast. That's the best way I can put it. If any of you have a better way to explain it.
You got well in
go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Pianissimo would be more of a softer sound.
No, not yes, that's true.
That's what you're talking about.
No. In compression, when we're talking about dynamics, we're talking about dynamics. The compression will take your low volumes and bring them up, and take your high volumes and bring them down to control it.
Okay.
So you ever been in a church and you hear a pastor, like you can barely hear his words when he's talking like this, but then all of a sudden he starts yelling and it's like, oh man. But then he goes back to like a conversation and the PA is like, you're like, what is he saying? And then all of a sudden he starts talking loud and you hear everything. Well, compression would make it so that his soft, when he's talking low, it would bring him up. Okay. But when he's talking loud, it will hold him from that peak.
Gotcha.
So it will give you some dynamics. Dynamics means up and down and you know, not taking. See, we can make it flat where you can overdo it where his soft words are just as loud as his hard words, but then there's no dynamic, there's no change. So that takes the emotion out of it. That takes, you know, that takes a lot of things out of it. So you still want him to have some emotion, or that person or that singer or that vocalist to have emotion, to be able to, you know, sing a little softer and louder and stuff like that. But you need to sometimes bring up the lows. You know, when I say low, I'm talking about volumes, not tonality. The volume, and then but also keep down the volume. So that's what compression does. De-essing does, if you hear me right now, I don't know if you hear, I can turn up my presence and you hear like a lot of, well, what a de-esser will do, a de-esser will automatically take that out. De-esser. So you can use it so much that it'll take the total S out, but you don't want to take the S totally out. You just want to take the sibilants out so it doesn't hurt people's ears all the time. So, noise gates, that's a look at a noise gate as a gate for sound, meaning that it's kind of on and off for your microphone. So let's say you had a microphone and in between your chorus, even between your singing, you might be breathing. And then you go back in. Well, instead of editing that out, sometimes we can take that out using a gate because that breathing wasn't as loud as you singing. So what we do is we bring the gate down where it actually shuts it off like a gate. And then as soon as your voice comes back in, it opens up the gate. Okay. So that's basically, and the rest of these things you just have to experiment with. Modulation is exactly what it says, chorus, auto wah. Again, it's easier if you play around with them than to explain them. I had to explain dynamics because that's something that is like and we'll go into a dynamics class. I think that's important. Reverb, everybody kind of understands what reverb is now. EQing is the tonalities of different frequencies. So how we shape a voice or a sound, a guitar, bass, or anything. Feedback killer, I haven't played around with this yet, but it evidently helps with getting rid of feedback. Feedback is when the microphone's being picked up by your headphones or your speakers or whatever, and it's picking up a specific frequency and making a loop. And that's what makes that squealing sound that we hear and can't stand in most places most of the time. And last but not least is gain. Gain is the input to whatever it is that you're doing. And there's input volume. Like this volume control is basically the output to the master. So if you think about this, on this channel, everything happened, the effects and everything happened before this slider. Okay. So we can actually control what's coming in before this by using gain. And that's what gain is. So gain is the amount of audio we're allowing into that channel before it goes into the effects, before it goes into anything. So why do you need gain? Well, sometimes you have guitars and they're too loud for the track. They're too loud for the computer. So you have to turn the gain down on them so it doesn't come in so loud. You see, so it doesn't distort your track, and you can't control that in the after. You have to control that as it's recording. So gain is usually before it gets recorded and what comes into the track before it actually gets recorded. Okay. So that is basically how to get around in this DAW. And I really, really, as Anthony was talking about, I really suggest that you download and play around with the app. I cannot show the app because it doesn't show up on my cameras and stuff like that. And I don't know how to get it, so I can share my phone screen.
Would you like me to show?
Yeah, can you show it? Can they actually see it from there?
I hope so. But
Do you have the looper up?
So this is okay. So here, hold on. I'll go from the beginning.
I'm getting out of shared screen. Hold on. There we go.
Okay, so let's go here. Let's go here. Okay, so this is BandLab. This is the first screen that you'll come to. It's called the home screen. It'll give, once you sign up, there will be, you'll have to sign up with a Google account, a Facebook account, or some other way with your email or anything. Okay, so right here, down at the bottom is the home screen. That's the house icon. Now, this is called the Explorer screen, which will give you a lot of different other people's productions. Next, on the next one is called the production screen, which is where you'll find all of the tools that will help you make music. So the first one here is called Import a Song. I know it's backwards right now, but trust me, it's called Import a Song, where you'll be able to either if you're on an iPhone, you'll be able to use your iTunes and import a either an instrumental or an actual song from your iTunes into the software, and you'll be able to choose out little pieces or the whole song itself, and be able to layer other things on top of it. So it's kind of what the looper does, but in a more other people's perspective. The next aspect is the microphone. This is where you can record your own voice or record a bird chirping in the trees or whatever you would like, and import that into the looper setting, which is the DAW itself of what is BandLab. Next is MIDI instruments. So this is if you have a keyboard that can also be a MIDI instrument, you can play out the notes that you want and affect the sounds inside the software that you have selectioned. So that's that piece. Looper is basically, you can take any sounds that are inside of BandLab, which is what we were already talking about with Douglas's production. If I open it up, you can use any one of these words at the top. I don't know if you can tell. If you can tell.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps you.
These words are keywords to what sound you would like to use. Or so I'm a house DJ. So if you're a house DJ or a house productionist, you're going to be able to use all sorts of whatever these sounds are. And inside these sounds, there comes other sounds. These are just packs. And that's what Looper does.
So click on the pack. That's what I wanted them to see.
Okay.
Click on any one of the packs.
So I'll go with the first one.
And then click on one of those.
Okay, so I'll choose that one here. Okay, downloading.
You could have used the cloud too.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, the coolest thing is you don't have to download the sounds onto your phone or anything like that. You can actually use the cloud version. I think there's a choice.
For some, hold on. Okay. It says interrupted for some reason. Yeah. My internet is a little bit off right now for some reason. Oh, it's still downloading. Okay, give me a second here. Okay. That's bizarre.
Douglas, did your camera go out?
Oh, yeah. Let me switch cameras. Thank you. I wasn't looking at it. I'm back. Different camera.
Okay, I'm having some technical difficulties. Give me 1 second, please. I will be back with you in just a moment.
I'm trying to see if Then when I tried to use my phone and show it on the screen, it whites out my what you call it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is what Looper is. So Looper is basically, they give you a wide selection of sounds, beats, voices, effects, and you can click on them. They start playing. I don't know if you hear that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of the screen, you can record each one of these. Now, this same concept of having a beat, when you go into the mic section, you can basically record yourself and then take that recording and import it into that.
Where did he go?
Oh, he disappeared on us.
His internet went down.
Yeah. I'm trying to go to where he was. I'm gonna see if my other camera will bring it up because I haven't tried it on that real quick. And then we'll call it. We'll call it. 1 second. Wrong frame. Music. Oh, come on now. There we go. There we go. And can you, I don't know if it,
Okay.
Okay. So you hit the plus on the bottom, like he was saying. It's backwards. So, okay. Okay, and that's what he was talking about. You get that, those signs, and you basically scroll. And let me get to where Looper was. And you tap on Looper. This is using my phone now. And you have across the top, as what he was showing, and you can scroll, across the top or whatever. And so R&B pop, let's say, and then you have all of the different R&B pop ones. And hold on 1 second. Let me. Got it. Okay, so it looks like that on it was bigger because he had a bigger screen. So you won't be able to hear it good because it's probably going through my. Let me go through my. It's going through my. Okay. So you can add any one of these buttons. And then, or you can just do like this. And all of them will link together. And if you want to turn them off, you can just basically take your finger and turn them off. If you want to record, you can hit that record button, right? And it would record it that. And if you want to see what you recorded or how you recorded, there's a little arrow right there going down, and there's your track. So if I recorded it, it would have been on this trap. If I want to do a second trap, I go plus, and then I go back out to the looper, and I can record a second track, and a third track, and a fourth track, and so on and so on. Again, it is something that you definitely will have a ball with. Trust me. I couldn't stop the other night. I was having so much fun, man. Oh, if you have headphones, the phone doesn't, the speaker in the phone doesn't do it any good. Okay. So if you got headphones like you got, if you can plug your headphones into your phone, it'll do you all the good. Cause I was like, this is toy kiddish and stuff. I put my headphones in and I'm hearing the drums like pow, just ding. I was like, are you kidding me? Get out of here. Yeah. So it is really good for you to put on your headphones with it and use it with headphones. Okay. If you have to plug them in, or if you have stereo headphones in any way, it'll do you a lot of justice. Trust me. But you guys are gonna have a lot of fun. Experiment with it. Again, you can't mess up nothing, and if you saw something, if you did something that was kind of funky and it was like kind of wonky, but you like it, but you can't really get to it on the phone or on your iPad, you can always log into it on your computer, and then you can see the screen better, and you're able to manipulate everything better. So that's what I did. I kind of manipulated stuff and cut stuff and put it where I wanted it, kind of thing. Because to me, still working that part on a phone is just not enough real estate for me.
So are we able to share like we did in
Yes.
other things? Like once we're done, you guys will have access to pull it up on your.
Well, what's going on is we're letting the adults not be behind the child wall. So y'all have the full. Y'all just gonna go and log on. You can go to our resource page, and that does have the log on stuff. Just don't use I have a children's one, and I have the one for the adults. The one for the adults just takes you to the home page. Sign up regularly. Okay. Now I will give you a warning. There is one warning. Some of those songs that they have in there, you search around and listen to other people, they will have cursing in it. They will have all kind of crazy stuff.
Okay.
I was looking, I was like, are you kidding me? Okay. So, because everybody's posting stuff, and it's kind of like a Facebook for music. So, so just I just give you fair warning with that. Other than that, you can also do a video in that program in BandLab. You can actually do a video, like after you finish doing your song, you can publish it, and you can create a video with your phone singing the song. And it's pretty cool. So you'll see a lot of people that have done that and utilize that in the blogs and stuff like that. Have fun, search around. That was the only warning I got is, just be careful of, some people just, they're out there.
Yeah.
And that's it. So any other questions? I'm going to turn off the recordings and